those of you with your computer, if you would please turn in your textbook to page 188, because that's where we're at. You will need your computer open with your calculator open. And we're going to kind of go over some of this math that we had to do for this section. Y'all's going to last long enough for that? Y'all's going to last long enough for that? Well, then you'll need to come up here and we'll plug it into mine. Jay, are you there? We need to go to page 188, please. Jeff, are you there? Page 188 with your calculator open, please. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over the sample problem first. So whatever I write on the board up here, you need to write in your notebook. Okay, is everybody good so far? So first thing we want to do is we want to look at the sample problem number 2. It says, assume that the satellite orbits Earth at 225 kilometers above the surface, giving the mass of the Earth at 5.97 times 10 to the 24th kilogram, and the radius of the Earth is 6.38 times 10 meters. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find H, RE, ME, and G. That is our known. So write that in your book. Our unknown, what we're looking for, is V and T. Okay? So we're looking for the satellite's orbit speed and period. So this is orbit, speed, and period is what we're looking for. So the first thing we want to do is find out, it says H is for height. So if we look on here, it tells us that it orbits at 225 kilometers. I'm going to change that to meters. So I'm going to say, all right, if it's 225 kilometers, I know that is going to equal 2.25 times 10 to the 5th power. I'll give you that. Make sure you know how to do that conversion. Okay? The next one, 2.25 times 10 to the 5th power. RE, that's the revolutions of the Earth. So in here, it says that RE is the radius. So the radius of the Earth says it's 6.38 times 10 to the 6th meter. The next thing we're looking for is our ME, which is our mass of the Earth. And this says that the mass of the Earth is 5.97 times 10 to the 24 kilogram. The last thing is what our G is. Now, G is a constant for everything in this chapter. Okay? If you forget, it's right over here. Okay? So when you see a G, you automatically put in 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11. That's newtons times meters squared over kilograms. Every time you see a G, that's what it's going to be. Okay? So what we're looking for is we're looking for orbital speed and period. Newtons times meters squared divided by kilograms. Okay? So right now, when you see anything with an R, you know it's radius, right? When you see an M, you know that's mass. E stands for Earth. H stands for what? Okay? So to be able to find our V, the first thing we have to do is we're going to take our R, which is our radius, is our height plus our radius of the earth. Okay? 2.25 times 10 to the 5th meter plus 6.38 times 10 to the 6th meter. So let's do this in our calculator.
I already got this one book.
You do, probably. Just make sure you label it. So the first thing we want to do is turn on our calculator. We want to go up here to mode, and we want to make sure it's at scientific. Is yours on scientific? Is everybody good with their calculator so far?
So go to the middle one?
Yep, and hit enter. Now, so we're going to go 2.25.
Hold on, Miss Mo, you went too fast. Hold on, let's do it. What does not make me touch?
Times 10 caret 3. We're going to move this arrow key over. We're going to hit the plus button. 6.38 times 10 caret 6. And hit over. And hit enter. Did everybody get 6.38 times 10 to the 6th power? So that equals 6.38 times 10 to the 6th power. Now that we have R, now we're going to look for orbital speed. That is V equals square root of our big G, mass of the Earth, over the radius. So, this is going to be square root G, which is 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11 newtons times meter squared over kilograms. We're going to multiply that by our ME, which is our 5.97 times 10 to the 24th kilogram. And we're going to divide everything by our radius. And our radius, 6.38 times 10 to the 6th power. Is everybody ready? Okay. Oh. What are we doing here?
6.6, yeah?
Yeah, 6.6, sorry. Thank you, baby. That's what I just figured out. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the wrong answer. Okay. So let's go ahead and put it in our calculator. So we're going to do square root, which is our second button, and our x plus. We're going to do our alpha, y, enter to get our fraction. And then you're going to go and put your open bracket 6.67. Close bracket. Oh, sorry, back up. Times 10. Times 10. Caret. Negative 11 over, close my bracket, open my bracket, 5.97 times 10 caret 24 over, close, come down, 6.60 times 10 caret 6 over to the end and hit enter. You get 7.76.
It won't let me touch my numbers.
I don't touch my numbers. I have to actually use my mouse to touch it.
That's what I'm talking about. See? You said go second. It's the little thing with it.
Y, enter. Yeah, it's doing fine.
I'm talking about watch when I put the numbers.
Open bracket.
If some of the numbers I can press, and some of them put it. Like,
Yep. You got to be right exactly on it. There you go.
it's going.
That's the practice problem.
That's all I want.
That's the practice problem.
Oh, I'm
So let's go ahead and do question number 1. Question number 1 on here is number 14. Says, suppose the satellite in example problem 2 is moving at an orbit of 24 meters larger in radius than the previous orbit. So, what do I need to change? So which one of these do I have to change? It says, suppose the satellite in example 2 is moving to an orbit that's 24 centimeters larger than in radius. Yeah. So if we're changing RE, can we change R instead? What was our answer for our problem on there for R? Well, our answer for R, was 6.60, right? 6.60 times 10 to the third power, right? And it tells me on this problem that it is 24 kilometers larger.
Are we looking for period or are we?
We're trying to find radius first, because we got to do radius first to do that. So this is in meters, and it's saying is how much bigger? 24 kilometers. Now we can do one or two things.
You said it's number 14?
Yes, ma'am. We can do one or two things. We can either change this to kilometers or we can change this to meters. So if I'm taking this and I'm changing it to meters, right? Kilometers to meters. How many meters are in a kilometer? Okay, so let's go ahead and put that on our calculator. So if we have 24, and what we're going to do is we're going to times that by alpha, y, enter. And we said there is 1,000 meters, or is there 1,000 kilometers in a meter? There is 1,000 kilometers in a meter. So that would be 1 over what? 1,000. And then I'm going to move this over. Then I'm going to open it. And here's one number. I got 3 divided by 125. So, can I do that? 3 divided by 125. If I hit enter, I get 2.4 negative. So, based on that, what it's telling me to do is if it's here, it needs to go over 1, 2, right? So that means for this number, this is 0, 0. Got it? So there's my answer for mine in meters. So what I need to do now is I need to take this number and multiply it by that number. Or if I want to, I can just use this number right here. Right? There we go. Let's do that. So we're going to take 6.60 times 10 caret 3. Oops. Caret 3 over, and we're going to add this, right? Plus 2.4 times 10 caret
I got
negative 2. What'd you get, baby?
6,600.024.
Okay. So my answer is 6.6 times 10 to the third, correct? You know what you got? Okay. So now my radius, I know, is 6.6 times 10 to the third. Is that what you got, sir? On yours? Fantastic. So that's my radius now. So I'm all good. What was the next thing that we were doing on our last problem that we need to do for this one? We're looking for orbital speed. What formula did we use for V? Yep. So we did square root of GME over R, right? Now, the gravitational number that we're using is going to be square root 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11, right? Newtons times meters, kilograms. And what am I going to multiply that by? Jeffrey? Jeffrey, what am I going to multiply that by? What's ME? What number is beside there? Thank you. 5.97 times 10 to the 24th kilogram. And I'm going to divide that by what, ma'am?
Me?
Yep.
6.6. No. Wait. No.
My R, right?
I just said 6.6.
Yep. I know. You're right. 6.6 times 10 to the third power. All right, put that in your calculator, and I'm going to come by and see it.
What's close to this?
14. You still on 14.
Go ahead. What are you trying to do first? Square root. So that's the second button, and then that's the X square root.
Hey, that's negative 11, right? So
Okay, you got it? And now you're gonna do alpha y equal.
that's that calculation.
And then go down to enter. Okay, now you got the top part, now do your open brackets. Your question. We're gonna see in a minute. You got your number, right? You wait. He's putting his alpha y equal stuff in? Yes, sir. All right, so where are you? So you have to do alpha y equal right there to make it a fraction.
4, 5, 6,
Alpha y equal to make it a
1,
fraction.
3, 7,
So here, when you just clear it. Okay, now just do alpha, y, and then down there to enter. There you go. Now put the open bracket. Now do the other numbers in.
That's 24. 10 to the 24. No, on top with the 5. So you just put 2.
Mm-hmm.
You put them behind 10, son?
10, 24.
Yeah, you got 10 to the, say it's 10 to the 24.
All right, listen, the more you do this, Jay, the easier it's gonna be. You just gotta learn how to use this calculator.
This, I don't know how to calculate it. Because I'm so used to the ones that,
I understand. But this is what the SAT, the BSAT, and everything's gonna be about this year. When you go testing, trying to get scholarships, you have to use this calculator to do it with. That's why we're practicing here. Yep. Let me see.
what you got, Jeffrey?
I got 2, 4, 5, 6, 2, 8 point.
Yeah, I got that too.
Oh, yes, yes. Look at us today.
Good job, Jeffrey.
You
You're almost there. All right. So now we're looking for T. What equation did we do on the last one to find T? Well, we did 2 pi square R3 over GME. Okay? So, I'm going to put it right here. 2 pi square root R cubed, which it will be 6.6 times 10 to the third. And we're going to have that cubed over, and it says G, which is our number here, right? 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11 Newton meter cubed kg. And we're going to multiply that by our ME. ME is this. 5.97 times 10 to the 24th. Now plug that into your calculator and let's see if we can get the period now.
That's 10 to the 24 again?
Uh-huh.
How you do the pi thing?
Okay, so that first thing you do is you put your 2 in.
Yeah, I got 2.
I said 2.
Okay.
3.4.
My 2 and my pi key. It is right here by the caret key. You see it?
I don't see that.
The caret key
It's a
that's above, it's a button underneath the clear button. Do you see the blue pi?
Oh, yes,
So
ma'am.
you hit second and then the
Second, and then that number.
Okay, good.
Okay? And then you're gonna do your square root,
So
Remember?
that's second and the other.
and then you're gonna do your alpha y equal, because it's a fraction.
Don't give us the answer yet.
I won't. We're gonna do the radius. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna do 6.6 times 10 caret negative 11. Oh, nope. 3. Slowly. 3. And then I'm going to close my bracket. On the bottom, I'm going to do
Oh no, this is you doing that wrong.
6, 7.
What's the number?
Ma'am,
You forgot it, no? Because you got 6.6 times 10 squared.
and then I got to do a cubed on the outside, don't I,
Yeah.
baby? You're exactly right.
That's what I'm about to say. Hold on, you don't
No, you're good. You're good. And you have to be able to see that, know how to fix it. 6.67 times 10 caret negative 11.
Then we close that parenthesis.
You sure do.
Open the parenthesis.
Yep.
5.97. Over.
Times 10 to the 24th, right?
Enter.
Times 10 caret
I got.
24
Hold on.
over close.
Don't hit it yet.
I'm not.
I think I got it though. I got 1.121788860 -5.
Where's wrong?
Hold up, listen on. What you did? Because we got two different answers.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
You got the same thing she got?
Hey, it's a 14 or 10.
The answer is 1.68 times 10 to the negative 1.
I know what I did because you remember I corrected you about the 3 on the outside,
Yes, ma'am, you
but I
did.
didn't put it on mine.
Shut up.
I didn't put it on mine.
Wow. So now you can say, you can do V and T. So let's do this. Let's do one more problem with this. And I'm going to change some numbers again, just to make sure that you need to know. Now,
So if I look at Rachel,
yep. Okay. I changed 2 numbers. So what you're going to do is now you're going to use the other part of your paper to do this one problem with.
what we doing now?
Using this one. For our practice problem, to make sure you really understand it. There we go.
gonna go to my.
And I want you to show me what V and what T equals. Your word for today is going to be orbit speed. So you will need to type that into the question of the day today. Those of you that are at home, what I'm going to have you do is I'm just going to have you do this problem by yourself, and I'm going to turn the video off for today.